Hey girl, hey, I'm coming to you today, no hair, no makeup. And if you have a problem with that, please go find another channel. Don't leave me a message. This is what happens when you age, and I am not putting on makeup because I just don't give a fuck. So, not your vibe? Move on. If it's your vibe, I'm so glad you're here. I want to talk to you today about a peptide that, dare I say, gave me my life back, or at least made me feel significantly better, but also allowed me to, nope, it gave me my life back. It addressed joint pain that had been there for years in my body, all over. And I had gut inflammation that I found about 15 years ago. And I had to completely redo my diet, the way that I consume food, in the hopes of fixing it, but never fully always fixed things. And I just noticed that tissues, bodies, injuries weren't healing like they used to. I had written it off as perimenopause. I'd written it off as just getting older. I was trying to accept that this is just my body now, but I didn't like it. I did not like that answer. I didn't feel like 47 was old enough to write it off. And then I found BPC 157. This episode is going to be about what BPC 157 actually is. It's going to be about how it works in your body. It's going to be about why it matters for women specifically in perimenopause. And we're going to go into the wild regulatory story that is surrounding BPC 157. Again, I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice. I'm just a woman living through midlife in real time, experimenting, looking for answers that I am not getting in a medical office. So this story just changed in a big way, and most people probably haven't heard about it yet. So BPC stands for Body Protection Compound. BPC 157 is a chain of 15 amino acids. It's synthetic, which means it's made in a lab, but it's based on a protein that your body already makes in your stomach, in your gastric juices. So your gut naturally produces a protective compound. And BPC 157 is derived from a small piece of that compound. Researchers isolated it, they synthesized it, and then they started studying what it could do for the body. Now, over 50 published studies later, here's what the research shows in a nutshell. BPC 157 promotes the growth of new blood vessels. That's called angiogenesis. And new blood vessels means more blood flow to damaged tissue. More blood flow to said tissue means faster healing. It reduces inflammation, but not by suppressing the immune system, but by calming the inflammatory signals at once. It supports, hallelujah, collagen production. Collagen is what holds our joints and our tendons and our skin together, and after 35, your body just naturally makes less of it. And in perimenopause, that drop accelerates. It helps repair the gut lining. It strengthens the mucosal barrier. What is a mucosal barrier? It's the layer of protection inside your intestines, and it keeps harmful things from leaking into your bloodstream. And BPC 157 shows early promise for nerve repair, which is and protective brain health. All really awesome things. Now, yes, right now, most of the research studies are on animals. I'm going to be honest and upfront about that. Human clinical trials on BPC 157 are limited. One 2025 study did look at intravenous use in humans, tongue-tied, and found it safe. But we don't have large-scale human trial data yet. What we do have is over 50 animal studies showing consistent results and a strong safety profile, and a growing body of real-world reports from people using it, including me. So you're wondering, why does this matter for perimenopause? Let me tell you. Here's what I need you to understand about perimenopause that your doctor, your nurse, your practitioner may not have explained. Estrogen is not just a reproductive hormone. We need to know that first and foremost. If you've been watching my series, is it all? There's estrogen receptors all over our entire body. Estrogen is an anti-inflammatory hormone. Are you surprised? And when estrogen starts to drop, your body loses one of its main tools to keep inflammation in check. So that is why your joint pain shows up, why your guts seem to get more reactive, and why things that never bothered you before suddenly really seem to bother you. And girl, it can start in your 30s. So don't let anybody tell you that's too young. You know your truth. If there's nothing else I teach you, please learn to advocate for yourself and to know your truth. And long before anybody ever called it perimenopause, estrogen has an effect on your body. So BPC 157 works directly on the things that estrogen decline disrupts. Joint pain and stiffness. BPC 157 has been studied specifically for tendon, ligament, and joint repair. People report smoother movement and less stiffness, and I can account to that for sure. Gut issues that seem to get worse with age. BPC 157 was literally derived from a stomach protein. It heals gut lining. It reduces intestinal inflammation. It has been studied for ulcers, IBS, and inflammatory bowel conditions. Pretty cool. Skin and collagen loss? Welcome to the club. BPC 157 supports collagen production and wound healing, and I can absolutely attest to the wound healing. Still waiting on the collagen. Maybe I notice it and it's just not super obvious yet. I don't know. So right now in perimenopause for me, and I'm assuming you or in some phase of that because you're here, our bodies are making less collagen right now than ever. So maybe experiencing slow recovery after workouts or injuries. BPC 157 accelerates tissue repair across muscles, tendons, and your bone. I didn't start using BPC 157 because I'm an athlete. I started using it in my late 40s because I was in my 40s. And my body felt like nothing that I knew how to utilize previously was relieving the pain. No stretching, no Epsom salts, no massage, no oil blends, Motrin, Tylenol, none of that was touching what was happening, and nobody had an explanation. Perimenopause symptoms. And they just don't get listed as that. All right, now here's the part I want you to pay attention to. Because if you've been following any kind of peptide content for any length of time, you've probably heard that BPC 157 got banned. And that is true, kind of. Let me explain what actually happened. So in 2023, the FDA moved BPC 157 to something called Category 2. Category 2 means the FDA flagged it as a safety concern. It effectively stopped compounding pharmacies from making and prescribing it to patients. Now, the FDA's official reasoning here was risk of immune reactions, manufacturing impurities, and not enough human safety data. A lot of clinicians pushed back on that and pushed hard. They pointed out that the FDA had not shown evidence of actual harm being caused by BPC 157 when used responsibly. They agreed the real issue wasn't safety. It was the FDA lacked the data that it wanted, and that pulling access would push people, like me, toward gray market sources with zero quality control, which is exactly what happened. Now, here's where the story gets interesting. On February 27th of 2026, HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. announced on the Joe Rogan Experience that approximately 14 of the 19 peptides on the Category 2 list would be moved back to Category 1. Category 1 means that compounding pharmacies can legally make them again without a prescription. BPC 157 on that list. BPC 157 expected to come back. Then on April 15th of 2026, Health and Human Services directed the formal removal of 12 peptides from Category 2. And then the FDA scheduled an advisory committee meeting for July 23rd and 24th of 2026, specifically to review BPC 157 and whether it should be added to a compounding list. The public comment period here is open until July 22nd of 2026. That means right now, we the public can submit comments to the FDA about BPC 157 and its potential therapeutic use. Like, say, I don't know, women in perimenopause, dealing with joint pain and gut inflammation. Now, to be clear, it's not legal yet. The formal reclassification has not been finalized. The PCAC, or the Pharmacy Competency Assessment Center, review still has to happen. And even after a reclassification, you're still going to need a prescription from a licensed provider. So, not a green light to go buy unregulated peptides off the internet or the gray market or the dark gray market. But what this is a major shift in regulatory direction, and one worth watching. I've been using BPC 157 personally for 9 months, maybe a little more. And what I can tell you is the joint pain that I was being forced to normalize and not be able to treat definitely was a perimenopause thing, not a lifting thing. And I don't accept that there's nothing I can do about it anymore. I didn't consent to those 15 years without answers, without having a physician from anywhere in the US, because I lived all over the US during that point in time. No physician able to give me an answer or assistance. And no clinician ever looked at hormones and peptides. And I don't consent to normalizing pain. I'm over it. I have researched my way back to feeling good. Between that and working on 2 different master's degrees, one in sport and health sciences, and I'm almost done with my one in holistic nutrition, so that'll make 2. Those are other ways that I have fought back. And it's not because somebody handed me a protocol, it's because I built one. It's because I'm tired. It's because I'm tired of being told no, or any number of things. As always, nothing I have shared here is medical advice. I am not your doctor. I'm not a doctor. I'm a coach. I'm a holistic nutrition student. I'm a mother of 2, and I'm a woman living through all of this in real time in front of you. Do your own research. Find a provider who actually listens. They're out there. If you need help, I will drop a link for the Menopause Society search engine to find a provider hopefully near you. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Next episode in the peptide series is going to be on Semax, S-E-M-A-X, and Selank, S-E-L-A-N-K, 2 peptides that I use for brain fog, anxiety, and cortisol dysregulation that nobody warned me. Dun, 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 bet you can guess that perimenopause would potentially bring on, and did bring on for me. Now, girl, if you haven't done something to love yourself today, please go do that. If you don't know what that looks like, drop me a message. I'll help you out. All my love until next time.